Genesis chapter 7. I hope you all are enjoying and learning from this series as much as I'm enjoying putting it together. This chapter tells the story of the flood covering the entire earth, and that only 8 people were safe in the ark. It was Noah, his wife, and their 3 sons and their wives. And also a pair of each of the animals were also safe in the ark. I'm going to read verses 1 through 5. Then the Lord said to Noah, "Come into the ark, you and all your household, because I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. You shall take with you 7 each of every clean animal, a male and his female, 2 each of animals that are unclean, a male and his female. Also 7 each of birds of the air, male and female, to keep the species alive on the face of all the earth. For after 7 more days I will cause it to rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and I will destroy from the face of the earth all living things that I have made." And Noah did according to all that the Lord commanded him. God told Noah the flood was going to begin in 7 days, and it would rain continually for 40 days and 40 nights. Now, no one had ever seen anything of that magnitude, so he just trusted what God was saying. Now I'm going to read from verses 6 through 24. Noah was 600 years old when the flood waters were on the earth. So Noah with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives went into the ark because of the waters of the flood, of clean animals, of animals that are unclean, of birds, and of every creeping thing on the earth. 2 by 2 they went into the ark to Noah, male and female, as God had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were on the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, on that day all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. And the rain was on all the earth 40 days and 40 nights. On the very same day Noah and Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Noah's wife and the 3 wives of his sons with him entered the ark. They and every beast after its kind, all cattle after their kind, every creeping thing that creeps on the earth after its kind, and every bird after its kind, every bird of every sort. And they went into the ark to Noah 2 by 2, of all flesh in which is the breath of life. So those that entered male and female of all flesh went in as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. Now the flood was on the earth 40 days. The waters increased and lifted up the ark, and it rose high above the earth. The waters prevailed and greatly increased on the earth, and the ark moved about on the surface of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly on the earth, and all the high hills under the whole heaven were covered. And the waters prevailed 15 cubits upward, and the mountains were covered, and all the flesh died that moved on the earth, birds and cattle and beast, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, and every man. All in whose nostrils was the breath of the Spirit of life, all that was on the dry land died. So he destroyed all living things which were on the face of the ground, both man and cattle, creeping thing and bird of the air. They were destroyed from the earth. Only Noah and those who were with him in the ark remained alive, and the waters prevailed on the earth 150 days. So Noah was 600 years old, according to these scriptures, when the earth was flooded. In verse 9 it says that the animals went in 2 and 2 unto Noah. They came to him. He didn't have to go after the animals. Now there were animals that normally kill or eat each other's species, but they lived in harmony on the ark. Now once Noah and the animals were on the ark, God shut and sealed the door. Noah knew that he could not save himself, and he relied on God to save him and his family. John 10:9 in the New Testament says, "I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved." So in God's plan, the door always represents Jesus. The flood represents judgment to all mankind and all living creatures that died in this flood. The waters remained on the earth for 150 days. Now, this would explain the fossils that have been found all over the earth, because fossils are the remains of plants and animals whose bodies were buried in sand and mud under the seas or lakes and rivers, and the whole earth was covered by water. We see in this chapter that God is love in his protection of Noah and his family, but he's also a God of justice when it comes to disobedience, just like any parent would be with their child. But God offers us a way to be saved from our own sin through Jesus Christ. One of my favorite verses is John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Because of our sin, God sent us a way of escaping, just like he did Noah and his family through his Son on the cross, who paid for all of our sin. All these events that we're studying right now in these scriptures, these books of the Bible will eventually lead to the cross.